Yours, Commissioner Moore.
Yeah, it's an issue.
Good morning. Welcome to the Lorraine County Board of Commissioners meeting of April 7th, 2021. This meeting will now come to order. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our inspirational word for the day, Jesus said, "If you love me, you will obey my commandments."
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Here.
Commissioner Lundy? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy?
And I'm still here.
Okay, we will start with a proclamation.
We have a proclamation to proclaim April 11th through the 17th, 2021 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Lorraine County. And Harry Williamson, the director from 911, is present today.
Okay, I'm going to say a few words and then we'll have Harry come up. Okay. In the matter of proclaiming April 11th to the 17th, 2021 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Lorraine County, Ohio. Whereas National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week began in 1981 and is celebrated the second week of April each year. This year going from April 11th to the 17th, 2021. And whereas this week offers a much-deserved thank you to our dispatchers who perform a highly important job in public service. And whereas a dispatcher is generally the first point of contact, the true first responder, and the unseen hero. A dispatcher's job is a complicated one. It is exciting, rewarding, fulfilling, and becomes a way of life. And whereas emergencies can occur at any time, and our emergency communications dispatchers for Lorraine County 911 and dedicated dispatchers in our community provide life-saving medical instructions quickly before dispatching the police, fire, ambulance to an emergency. And whereas dispatchers are a rare breed, dispatchers receive high-stress calls while handling radio traffic from fire and police. They provide information, guidance, and medical instructions while entering critical information into the computer system. In doing so, they are contacting the appropriate safety forces to send out to the resident in need, proving their exemplary aptitude for multitasking. And whereas it is important to thank a dispatcher, not only during this week of national recognition, but any time that you can, because you never know when you might need them. And next, we'll have our Director Williamson from 911 come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner, and thank you, Commissioners, for the
Microphone.
Oh, I'm going to get these wipes out of the way here. So, again, thank you, Madam Commissioner, and thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity here this morning to speak in honor. And I'll just feed off of what the Madam Commissioner just spoke of. Again, National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, it's known as National Public Safety Week. This year in particular, 2021, has demonstrated the importance of quality 911 dispatching and their role as first responders.
No, she's going to take a picture, so you might want to put
Just like our brothers and sister police officers, firefighters, and EMS workers in the trenches, they continue to come to work, answer the thousands of calls coming into our 911 center and other respective agencies around Lorraine County, professionally and without interruption. Dispatcher Appreciation Week began in California at the Contra Costa Sheriff's Office in 1981. It recognizes the invaluable and often unseen work of 911 dispatchers nationwide. All of them speak the same language and have a common pool of experience to draw from. How many of them have comforted a person just involved in an accident? How many of them have felt that feeling in the pit of their stomachs when a firefighter or police officer doesn't answer their radio, or they hear a struggle in the background? How many of them have memories of calls that still haunt them years later? On a lighter note, how many of them have stashed supplies hidden in their dispatch console, plastic silverware, ibuprofen, a spare headset, and even duct tape? How many of them have a full profile of someone from the internet in 5 minutes or less? Our dispatchers can do that. How many of them have 3 to 5 drinks on their consoles at any given time? How many of them's had verbal arguments with one of their peers that you need to clean out the refrigerator, your ketchup's 2 years old? And how many of them have kept the local coffee shops, Grubhub delivery, and Uber Eats open with their frequent visits? Dispatchers are a unique breed. They are fiercely independent and they're mission focused, but they make one heck of a team. They show up rain, shine, fires, natural disaster, shootings, you name it. They're there. They go from call to call, switching up their style, questioning like a person with multiple personalities. That chosen profession is truly something to behold. More than one dispatcher has left the profession only to come back realizing the impact they've made on someone's life each and every day. And again, they are a unique breed. They often multitask as they monitor and take control as many as 6 computers, monitors simultaneously at the same time, while conversing with multiple safety agencies at the same time, giving life-saving instructions, comforting those in need at the worst times of our lives. Dispatchers of Lorraine County 911 and other communities within our county, we salute you. The Lorraine County Board of Commissioners and leadership is working hard to give you the recognition that you need and you deserve as first responders. We know that many dispatcher banquets and functions have been postponed across the state due to the COVID-19 outbreak. But know you have our appreciation, our admiration, every day of the year. As you show up to work, you plug in, you put your headset on, and you confidently answer 911. What is the address of your emergency? Those are the true heroes. They're that comfort voice at the time of the most needed. Here in Lorraine County, our dispatchers are the main contact, and not only our 911 dispatchers, but there's multiple agencies out there that have dispatchers as well. And let's not forget them. There's a few police stations out there that have dispatchers, and they're just as important. So our dispatchers take that call, 15 different police stations, Ohio State Patrol, FAA, Metro Parks, Sheriff's Office, over 30 fire departments, and multiple ambulance agencies. So again, I thank you, Commissioners. I thank the administration for giving me the time, and I have a couple of my supervisors in the audience here, Russ and Lisa. I'd like to thank them for their hard work. Kurt's not available, but again, most of all, I want to thank our dispatchers because, again, they are my true heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Commissioners?
Well, first, I want to, commend our 911 dispatchers. It's interesting when you talk to anyone on the street and you ask them about dispatching, and they tend to think that, well, let's see, I'm pretty calm under pressure. I handle things well when things go crazy at home or at work, but it really takes a special person to be a dispatcher. A lot of folks don't know that when we bring people in for training to go through the program, in most cases, 1 out of every 4 actually makes it through the process. It's very demanding, very challenging, and there's a lot of things going on. I know I'm laughing because my own twin brother went down to Strongsville many years ago and took a class on dispatching, and he said that once again, he thought he was well organized and could handle all kinds of things at one time, and he said, boy, that's a tough job. So just going through a simulated drill or two with that. Having worked as a reporter before, I know people get tired of hearing my reporter stories, but I've listened to a lot of 911 tapes over the years, and it is amazing what dispatchers do. You know, the public, generally when they see a news story, they see what happens in front of them, or they hear about the victims or the police or the fire, but rarely do they ever get to talk with a dispatcher, you know, or hear that calming voice that's going on behind the scenes, which really makes a big difference. And I just can't say enough good things about the work they do. We're always constantly recruiting dispatchers, so if folks are interested in being a dispatcher and they think they can step up to the plate and learn the job and do the job, we'd love to certainly have you apply. But as I said, it's very challenging, it's very demanding. And the other part is, you know, when you leave at the end of the day, most of us can leave the office and kind of disconnect, you know, and go home. We don't have something that's still hanging over our head where, you know, somebody died on the other line, or maybe we also don't have that big adrenaline rush of, you know, helping someone deliver a baby, you know, the happy stories of the day. But they really play a critical role, and it's hard to even disconnect when they leave the workplace and go home because of the important tasks that they have when they're on the job. So just want to commend all of the dispatchers here in Lorraine County and throughout Ohio and across the country. It is a very, very difficult job, and we can't thank them enough for what they do.
Mr. Moore?
Yeah, I was going to use the same opportunity to, promote 911 in order to apply for a job. It is, like I said, about 1 in 4 actually get through the training. You do get paid throughout the training. It's a good opportunity. It could be a good stepping stone if you want to get into maybe becoming an EMT or paramedic or a deputy. It could be, or just, that could be your career. The bottom line is, please, reach out to us, any one of the 3 of us or the director at 911, submit a resume or fill out an application. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to use, what I was going to say, kind of take advantage of this to let people know that we are hiring. So thank you and your staff for coming out today. So,
Okay, and I think Janelle is here to do a photo of the presentation, gentlemen. Are you guys coming?
Oh.
Yeah. Director, and do you want to have Lisa and Kurt, Russ come up, or no? Where do you want us, Janelle?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. Okay, we have our masks on, so we can move in just a little so you can walk in. All around us.
I'm smiling. I can't believe I'm actually smiling.
You don't know what I'm doing behind you.
Thanks for all your work. Commissioner Moore, thank you.
thank you.
That was funny. I found myself doing that like when I was in the store, when I see a cute little kid or whatever, I kind of smile at him with my mask on.
Okay. Okay, moving on to B, resolutions.
Number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Number 4, advances and repayments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Number 5, requisitions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
Madam President, I guess I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted to make sure that our public record is an accurate reflection of what we're actually doing on requisition 662. I did have a conversation with our budget director this morning, and I think my other colleague saw something here, too, that we wanted to make sure was corrected. If we could just show that this is for the Commissioners' area lunchroom and probably the 5th floor break room as well, I think would be a more accurate reflection of what the purchase is. Because it looks like we're doing one for the lunchroom and then one for a specific department, when in fact it's actually just a break room on that floor.
So Madam Clerk, can our budget director just amend that on there after the meeting?
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
You want to amend it, saying we're replacing a refrigerator from the 80s? Okay.
Okay, was there another one, Commissioner?
No, that
Moore?
was it
Commissioner
me.
Lundy, are we all set? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore? Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Number 6, travel. There were none. Number 7, bills.
Move to approve. Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
The next item of business is number 8. Authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of the Lorraine County Board of Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, the commissioners may recess into an executive session to discuss personnel and new hires and various board appointments. The next item of business is number 9. I move to approve the meeting minutes and waive the reading of the minutes of March 31st, 2021.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
I just want to commend our clerk for the amazing work that she does. When I read the minutes, I'm like, wow, she didn't miss a thing. So, and I know she was here working on some things yesterday with our annexation hearing, and I know the Assisted County Prosecutor brought up some thoughts about recordings and records, and I guess I would just ask, because believe me, she has more than enough work to work on without making things more complicated. So if there are ways in which sometimes the recorded document works, that would be certainly helpful. And if we need to take any appropriate board action to make that possible, certainly would be interested in doing that if my colleagues would support that.
Yes, and we're also working through some of the IT stuff too, and hopefully we can make this a much easier process sooner rather than later.
For her sake.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Lundy.
Won't know what to do, though.
No, don't say that now.
No, don't say, we bug you enough.
It's a public meeting, Teresa.
I know. I'm so used to just typing.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, and now we are moving on to number 10. Next item of business is number 10. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorized issuance not to exceed $3,804,600 sanitary and sewer improvements, Emerald Sewer Project Bond Anticipation Note Series 2021A for the purpose of paying the cost of constructing and acquiring sanitary sewer system improvements for the Emerald Sewer Project together with all appurtenances thereto.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
Is there anybody here that wishes to discuss this? Which I see
Mr.
Don.
Romanchek.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me come in. Just real quick, this is the installation of sewer, and I want to make it very clear. I know bond financing is just the top of everyone's Wednesday morning to-do list, but this is really important for all of us, because this sewer is actually going to eventually go to State Route 82 and extend upon or along 82 on the east side of Columbia Station, making it much more desirable, much more efficient to redevelop that commercial corridor. And while there is over $3 million being borrowed, eventually a portion of that's going to be turned into assessments, a large portion of this initial part. And that'll be coming then from the homeowners in Emerald Woods and MLM who will be paying an assessment. So there's no free sewer, and the county is basically using its finances to upsize it to provide additional service and to protect the existing residents along Snell Road and Boone Road when they have to connect to be able to reduce their costs and, again, open up economic opportunity along State Route 82. That's what this project is really about, and that's what this financing is setting us up to do, is future growth. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
I appreciate the good work.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
The next item of business is number 11. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorize issuance not to exceed $1,173,000 engineer garage improvements bond anticipation note series 2021A for the purpose of paying the cost of constructing and acquiring various engineers garage together with all appetances thereto.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
The next item of business is number 12. I seem to have misplaced number 12. Oh, there it is. Number 12. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorize issuance not to exceed $2,244,000 sanitary sewer improvements, Project Apple Pie, bond anticipation note, Series 2021A, for the purpose of paying the cost of constructing and acquiring sanitary sewer improvements for the Project Apple Pie, together with all appetances thereto.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
This is basically Carvana. I love how we keep calling it Project Apple Pie.
I was asking
Like
Teresa the
it,
same
like
thing.
nobody knows what it is. So,
Mr. Romanchik, would you like to say a few words for us? Just
don't
a
give away
recap.
the secret, what it stands for.
Again, thank you, Board. Well, Project
do
Apple
love
Pie
apple
is at least a little more tasty than Carvana, although I will say this project is an incredible project for our county. Unlike the previous one I was up here for, this one is 400 jobs coming. They're already recruiting and hiring up. The construction there has gone unbelievably well. Very little complaint as they were constructing. Now, what this will do is actually enable a sewer to go in that's going to be substantial enough to accommodate Carvana as it exists today. It also will allow for Carvana to expand. They do have plans to expand sometime in the future, hopefully sooner than later. And we could see upwards of 600, 800 jobs at that site in the future. Currently, we're looking at about 400. Just as important, though, is this sewer will be able to do something that the county, the city of Lorraine, Elyria Township, and Amherst Township have been looking at for some years, and that is to extend the sewer south of State Route 2 and into the JED that exists with Elyria and Lorraine, Elyria Township and Lorraine, as well as for Amherst Township as well. So again, this financing that the board is considering today is setting that stage for not only the growth we have right before us with Carvana to accommodate that, but it's setting the stage for future in light industrial and commercial growth at a key interchange within our community. And that's what this borrowing is doing, and will be repaid from a portion of the real estate taxes that are generated. So I thank you very much for the opportunity to brag a little bit about this one and the 400 jobs coming to our community. And workforce development, Ohio Means Jobs, Lorraine County is actively working with them to fill those positions. thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work.
Yeah, I just want to, if I could, Madam President.
Yes,
Just
yes,
want
sir.
to thank you, Don, and I know Jerry Good, and everyone who worked so hard on that project. There were a lot of moving parts. It's hard to get, I think it was 5 different governmental entities to the table to work things out. That really doesn't happen in today's society. So to get 5 governmental bodies together, including the school system, get everybody to sign off and get it done. And this is just going to be very exciting for the county. It's amazing how that site has changed. And, the potential there for future growth as well, too, So, thanks for all the work.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Next item of business is number 13. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorize the issuance not to exceed $714,000 sanitary sewer improvements for Hampshire Farms Sewer Project. Bond anticipation note, Series 2021A, for the purpose of paying the cost of constructing and acquiring sanitary sewer improvements for the Hampshire Farms Sewer Project, together with all the appetances thereto.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
I think Don wants to come up for a 3 for 3.
I think this might be the last one, Board, but again, I appreciate the patience with me. This one is another fun little project, smaller than the other two, but just as important in that not only is this supporting another 55 houses coming into our community in Amherst Township and what that means for markets, but it also gave us an opportunity to solve a problem along Oberlin Road where the existing houses there are, on average, have the oldest HSTS or home septic systems in the county. So we've been coordinating with the health district as well as with the developer, and it was the developer who came up with a solution on how for us to cost effectively do this. So what we'll be doing with this financing is not only providing the sanitary sewer main and water main for Hampshire Farms and helping them with some of that. We are also being able to extend the sewer down Oberlin Road and enable, when appropriate, those households along Oberlin Road from K Drive to State Route 2 to be able to connect without any tap-in fees. The laterals will be installed as a part of it, and again, improving our community, preventing a problem before it actually occurs in our community, and then setting the stage for future growth. So again, this is another project a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's supporting the growth of our community in a responsible way and not forgetting those that were already in our community. So again, I want to thank you for the consideration of these projects and the financing. And again, this is coming to be repaid through the increase in the taxes that will be created off the new investment from the developer, and we do have guarantees from the developer as well to help protect the county and protect our residents. So, thank you.
Is this going to affect us for future projects when, if a private investor doesn't pay for other homes? Because that's pretty expensive, laterals and tap-ins. I think it was a good win-win for everybody,
Well, it all depends, really, we could allow it to, but in reality, what this was making sure that it was a public benefit to the county,
Okay.
and that's the key. We're protecting our existing residents, they're getting enhanced services, and then also, I will say in this case, the engineering that the developer brought actually solved a problem that we were having a hard time. They relocated the sewer, changed their design a bit and their lot layout to allow us to tap into the sewer differently. And then also, this one enabled us to finally get an agreement with the city of Lorraine that had been hanging over our heads for I don't know how many years. And this was the project that kept pushing and pushing and was the catalyst, at least from the county perspective, to get the city to do it. The city finally came through. The benefit to the city, of course, is they're getting increased customer base, and for the county as a whole, we've got better rates and now a contract so that residents can rest secure in the knowledge of what their sewer rates will be for the future. So this has been a great opportunity. We got to make sure in the future with developers, we stick to our guns and we make sure we have that public benefit coming out. But I appreciate the question.
Yep,
It's
thank
important.
you. Thank you for what
Thanks.
you did, yeah.
Commissioner Lundy? Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 14. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Consolidating the 4 bond anticipation note issues of the County of Lorraine, Ohio into a consolidated bond anticipation note issue and establishing the terms of such consolidated issue.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Are you all set, Mr. Vermanchek? All right. We have Casey Saunders coming up to give us some advice and counsel from our budget director.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just see if I can wrap up these issues with a ribbon here and just kind of talk through the mechanics of these last 5 resolutions. So these are all existing borrowings, and we're rolling these notes for another year until these projects are either complete or at least significantly complete. Once we hit that stage, then we will move these issuance over to bonds. That's when we will finalize the financing, and then we will begin repayment of these. So these 4 issues were not quite wrapped up yet, so that's why we're rolling these notes and issuing notes again as opposed to moving over to bonds. And then finally, this resolution that you guys are considering right now. This is just rolling up those 4 those 4 note issues up to a consolidation, and this just helps the county save on finance fees, closing costs, and whatnot. So we're closing on one issuance as opposed to 4 individual notes. So.
Any questions, Commissioners? Okay, thank you, Mr. Saunders. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Next item of business is number 15. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorize the payment of $583,529 for the 2021-2022 Corsa renewal premium.
Move to approve.
Second?
Uh-oh, Teresa. It was simultaneous.
I'll allow my far colleague on the left there to.
No, thank you.
Okay,
My
motion
far
was,
colleague on the right.
motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board?
Do you want to amend that, or no? I thought you wanted to amend
It's
that.
the one after it,
Oh,
but I can say something about it if you guys want me to. I have something here.
written in the wrong line, my
Do you-
bad.
Do you have anything, Commissioner Lundy?
Good.
Okay, Corsa premium, I understand an expenditure of over $500,000 can raise a question or two from the taxpayers. County Risk Sharing Authority, Corsa, provides our county, as we are a member, with comprehensive property and liability coverage and high-quality risk management services at a stable and competitive cost. Their coverage is tailored to us in Lorraine County and includes property, auto, general liability insurance coverage, and other smaller specified liability items, for a total 2021/2022 premium commencing May 1st, 2021, as you see in the resolution today. All set, gentlemen? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, so now at this time, I will move to amend the agenda to add community development legislation to our agenda today.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, so community development. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Awarding a contract to Chagrin Valley Paving, Inc., Chagrin Falls, in the amount of $40,198, which includes a contingency for the Spring Street Park parking project for the city of Oberlin.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? I think we do have, Director Duncan is here from Community Development, if you wanted to say a few words about this, sir.
Yes, I want to first thank the board for this opportunity, but Spring Street Park is a 12-acre neighborhood park located in Oberlin, And the park features a playground area, gazebo, and 2 picnic shelters. And as part of Lorraine County's 2019 CDBG grant, the county and the city of Oberlin engaged in this replacement and rehabilitation of the entire playground area, which is already complete, and installing the new playground equipment and the 12-inch deep engineered mulch underneath the surrounding the equipment to ensure the safe playing area for the children. The addition of the 5 parking spaces, including 1 handicap accessible parking space at the park, is also being undertaken to improve the ease of access, as well as to make sure this park is handicapped accessible. And these improvements are in a low to moderate income area, and this is phase 2 of this project. This was identified through the Community Development Implementation Strategy meeting and subsequent project proposals received from qualified communities within the county. So we're excited to see the second part of this project go forward, if you guys agree. So also, I don't know if you want me to go later under Tom's report, or I did want to say something about Community Development Week, if I may.
Would that be all right with you?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, please tell us about it.
Okay, this is National Community Development Week, April 5th through the 9th, 2021. And this was created in 1986, and it's designed to focus on the CDBG, or the Community Development Block Grant, and the home programs, as well as to educate residents of the successes of many programs and projects that add value to local communities. And I must say that we have a fantastic team upstairs. You've heard Mr. Romanchak today and his love for stormwater. He keeps telling me I'm going to love it someday, but but his knowledge is incredible. He calls himself Funkin' Wagnall. I say he's really more like a Britannica. He's the more expensive edition, but he's well worth his money because his knowledge is incredible. And then we're also very blessed to have Jerry Good up there in economic development. And Jerry's does a fantastic job leading his team up there, and the whole team is incredible. As of today, Lorraine County Community Development, as far as in housing, we have $1.5 million in CHIP, or Community Housing Improvement Program funds, for rehabilitation and repair of owner-occupied homes throughout the county. And we have $570,000 in CDBG funds for projects addressing fair housing compliance, public infrastructure and facilities improvements, and community service delivery. And I would ask if anyone listening or you guys know of people who need assistance in housing, there are programs and resources available for housing repair and rehabilitation, rental assistance, and fair housing to projects against housing discrimination. Please feel free to contact our department if you know of anyone or anyone needs assistance there. Also, TIFs are an important part of this. We have 4 tax incremental financing projects in process, and then we have one that's already enacted. And these TIFs provide public infrastructure improvements, residential development, and assist our school districts. Also, our department is very involved with grants. Just a couple that we have going right now is the U.S. EPA Environmental Workforce Development Training Grant, and that'll gave us $200,000 to train unemployed residents in environmental careers. We also have received the OEPA Diesel Mitigation Trust Fund, which gave us money for electric vehicle charging stations, which means that one of the first ones in Lorraine County is going to be able to come from us. So we're excited about that. We also have some other grants going to help protect our environment right now. And I do want to say, if there's other departments within the county that need assistance with grants, our guys are available to help find those grants for them. We have some fantastic staff up there that are well-trained in that. And then Lorraine County Community Alliance, just to let you know, they're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. And the Community Development Department works in conjunction with other departments and partners around the county to ensure that there is a collaborative effort to better the community. Our mission is to serve Lorraine County residents through community development initiatives by promoting economic development, providing tools to the community to foster success, and striving to improve the quality of life. I would ask that you would please check out, you can find us on the county's website at loraincounty.us. And then also, please go to our Facebook and like us, Lorraine County Economic Development, and you'll see we have new posts going up every day to inform you of the opportunities and what's going on here. We are Lorraine County, and I have copies of my report that I'll give to Teresa for each of you. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, Director Duncan. Any comments from the commissioners?
Thank you.
No, just, I think a lot of folks, you know, they know about government, but one area I think that we probably could always do a better job of educating people about is community development departments. They kind of get lost in the shuffle and do a lot of the big heavy lifting behind the scenes. You know, we as a board, I guess it's almost like being a coach of a team. You know, the players go out there and they hit the home run, and then Terry Francona looks like, you know, the best manager in baseball. So, you know, often this board ends up, you know, getting the credit and the praise, but, you know, we know that all the legwork and the grunt work, if you will, you know, is done, you know, through staff, and I mean that in a complimentary way, that it's a lot of hard work, especially when you're dealing with anything that's government related. I'm sure all the paperwork that you guys have to fill out, it's good that you have your Encyclopedia Britannica, you know, sitting over here, and you've been through it too as a mayor. You know what it's like.
Right.
Everybody wants to get the money, but nobody wants to fill out the paperwork. And the questions they ask are just ridiculous. People wonder why people get frustrated with government when they see the paperwork that has to be done. That's the big thing. But no, I can't say enough good things about the talented staff you have up there. And I know Jerry Good started around the same time I did, and I was amazed that we were able to catch somebody like that with his knowledge and background. And Don impressed me from day one. Of course, I knew of him earlier before I even came here. And, you know, it's like you can ask Don stuff, and he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's like it's like having the encyclopedia there. But so thank you, you know, to your staff and your talented team. And, yeah, I do hope that people will reach out to you for assistance. And that's something for all of our local governments to know, is that, you know, we're always here to help, but we don't know who you're having conversations with. We don't know any issues that you run into. If you don't pick up the phone and call us and say, hey, you know, could you help us out on this? We're ready to help you out. And we've got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of contacts. And so for our governmental leaders across the county, you know, please pick up the phone, give us a call, and, you know, we'll see if we can help you out. If we can't, we'll direct you in the right place.
Yeah, I just don't want you to scare everyone away with the paperwork. Be assured that my team up there is
We'll
going to
do the
do everything they
paperwork.
can to help you through this process, and they're talented, and they'll make the process easy as possible for everyone.
Right.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Director Duncan. And just a housekeeping note before we call the roll, so that would be number 16, which is for those following at home with their agenda at home, that's going to adjust the next three items on our board business, so that number will change, and then Teresa will reflect that when she does the minutes. So, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
The next item of business is number 17. Solid Waste Management District. The next item of business is number 17. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Approve a district market development grant for the Community Development Department in the County Administration Building in the amount of $20,474.90 for the purchase of recycled content carpet tiles to be installed on the 5th floor in the department's offices.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
Other than if you see the carpet, you'd understand why it should be replaced.
I second that, Commissioner
Okay.
Lundy. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Office of the Engineer. The next item of business is number 18.
Award and enter in a contract with U.S. Bridge Division of the Ohio Bridge Corporation, Cambridge, Ohio, in the amount of $256,440 for the Smith Road Bridge 0403, Penfield, Spencer Townships. This bid was the only bid received. Issue notice to proceed on or before July 15, 2021, and complete on or before September 1st, 2021. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of the project and will be paid from the engineer garage supplies material account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board?
I guess I would say that I always feel a little uncomfortable when we only get one bid, but I don't, legal counsel, do you ever feel like we should try to go back out at least one more time, or that's it, the window's closed and we accept the one bid?
I think the window's closed.
Yeah.
I think, we have to put the bid together and provide the opportunity, but.
I guess you just don't always know if the bid you're getting is absolutely the best one and somebody missed the window, but I know there's been situations before where we've actually said, well, maybe we'll go back out again and see what happens, but
Anybody reached out and said that they would have bid it, but they missed the window?
I'm not aware of that. I guess the engineer would be the only one who could answer that question. Just an observation.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
All right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hahn?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Recorder, the next item of business is number 19. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Approve change order number 2 to Midas Construction Services in the amount of $2,465.60 for the additional electrical outlets and cabling in the recorder's office to be paid from the COVID account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hahn?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, we are moving on to the reports section of our meeting. Mr. Tom Williams, County Administrator, do you have a report today?
I'd like to thank the county health department in helping our employees get vaccinated. Over last weekend, we had 140 individuals who went to Lorraine County Community College to participate in the vaccination. That was something that the board requested that we make that available to the employees. Over time when we got the vaccinations, individuals basically 40 and under, majority of the people already been vaccinated, but 140 people did take advantage of that opportunity. So just an update there. Dollar amounts on the rental assistance program. We process now $141,000 through the rental assistance. We have $407,000 in the pipeline. 258 are pending, with a total over just over 400. Still need to get more people to get on the site, apply. We are doing social media ads. We're trying to get that out there. Been doing some ads in the newspapers. The key thing is to let the people know that, you don't have to be on public assistance. You don't have to be getting evicted at this point. If you were impacted by COVID in any way, you should reach out to Job and Family Services. They can walk you through the process, and on the website it actually gives you a questionnaire to let you know if you're going to qualify, pre-qualify before you put all the work into it. Pretty simple application. You just need to have your lease agreement, your landlord's information, and then you enter it in, and then the checks are starting to go out. Job and Family Services is also going to give the landlords the option to pick the checks up instead of going through the mail, because as we know right now, the mail system is a little slow. So if you want to go through and get that, just reach out to Job and Family Services, tell them you would like to pick the check up, and they can work with you on that. And just I want to give a thank you to the board for allowing the directors to come down and do the presentations. Very proud of this team that we have. As you see, very knowledgeable individuals, and it's great when they can come in and showcase their skill set. Up on the 5th floor, our solid waste director And then our Port Authority Director worked very closely with our Community Development Director. These three individuals are going out on a weekly basis trying to find and help businesses and promote Lorraine County. So you heard from a few here today, but we do have a great team, and I just want to say thank you for allowing them to showcase their talents, and also, more importantly, thank the team members for all the hard work that they do. End of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator.
If I could just ask Tom on the emergency, on the emergency rental assistance, I know we provided a list for the church leaders, I believe. I just wanted to make sure we were reaching out to them, because I think it's, the pastors can announce it at their churches, put it in their bulletins, whatever it may be.
Yeah, the director has indicated that he has reached out to them. He's working on getting them flyers. I believe they have a meeting coming up here in the next couple weeks. I shouldn't speak about it because I'm not up to date on all the details, but to answer your question, he has reached out to them. Flyers are being created so they can be distributed to all faith-based organizations.
Okay, good, thank you.
And Mr. Administrator, he's always welcome to come and give us an update.
He-
Director Carrion.
Yeah, he would love to do that.
Okay.
I can try to get him here for next week.
Just let us know.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Assistant County Prosecutor, Mr. Dan Petticord.
Thank you, Commissioner Hung. Briefly, I just wanted to expand a little bit on your comments on the Corsa premium. One of the things that Corsa does, it does well, and is an underappreciated asset that is important, I think, to the directors, is they also provide online resources called Corsa University, and they're very good at pushing out toolkits and legislative updates and things like that through CCAO, the County Commissioners Association, that they make available to members like Lorraine County, that I know my office has used successfully and consistently. I think for most of our director level people, that would be a resource that they should avail themselves of as part of our premium. Thank you.
Is there any pending litigation for executive session, sir?
There is no pending litigation for executive session this week. I'm gonna give you guys a break and not give you bad news this week.
I will cross that off my list then.
You never have bad news. It's just news.
Right, yeah.
Okay, moving on to Commissioner's Report. If you guys don't mind, I'll go first. Ohio Wears Blue is a statewide awareness campaign that takes place on the second Wednesday of every April, which is designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Ohioans are encouraged to wear blue on that day to work, school, or to a community event to show support for preventing child abuse and neglect. The next Wear Blue Day will be April 14th, 1 week from today, and our social media team will be posting a reminder on the awareness program with the links and what you need there, etc. You can go to pcsao.org, Public Children's Services Association of Ohio, for more information. On the website, they provide a fact book designed as a resource for policymakers and the media, for federal, state, and local partners, and for those interested in the safety and stability of Ohio's children and families. There is a listing of the county, so you can click and get a more in-depth review of our county and how it ranks. And I would like to take a moment to thank all of our children's services employees here in the county for all the work that they do. In researching this last night, I realized it is our employees, the staff, foster parents, and volunteers of Lorraine County Children's Services who are committed to the safety and well-being of abused, neglected, and dependent children, and that you make the difference. And I just wanted to thank them for all they do. And to 911, if you ask the men and women who answer the call for help about their remarkable work, they will probably tell you they are just doing their job. But the truth is they are helping to save many lives every day. And that is why for nearly 40 years, communities nationwide have made it a point to observe National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week during the second week of April. Over the years, the work of telecommunicators has changed in many ways. Our dispatchers are constantly being trained on new technology and equipment to better serve the residents. In 2019, a dispatcher-assisted CPR initiative was launched to help our dispatchers save more lives through the implementation of telecommuter and communicator, and high-performance CPR programs. With more than 350,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests occurring in the United States each year, many times it is the 911 dispatchers who get the first calls for help. If you see or connect with a dispatcher in your travels next week or on social media, please relay a thank you to them. I could ramble on more here, however, let me just say on behalf of the commissioners, we want our 911 dispatchers to know how much you are appreciated and respected for what you do on a daily basis for our residents here in Lorraine County. Your dedication to our residents does not go unnoticed. And yesterday, I attended the retirement send-off for Fire Chief of Avon, Frank Root III. Chief Root was hired onto the Elyria Fire Department in 1986. For several years, he served as a lieutenant for Elyria, as well as lieutenant in Avon, in the Avon Volunteer Fire Department. In 2003, Avon transitioned from a volunteer service to a full-time fire department. Chief Root took over the position of fire chief in 2006. Chief Root gave a very touching speech yesterday talking about his early days with Avon and the labor of love, hard work, dedication, and collaboration to bring Avon Fire Department to what it is for the residents today. And I know my colleagues here on the board all wanted to be there yesterday, but we all could not attend. So Chief Root, on behalf of the commissioners, we wish you well in your retirement, and thank you very much for your 35 years of service. And my last note, I wanted to congratulate Jessica Fetter for her promotion to EMA Director. She will be taking over for Tom Kelly when he retires in June. Tom and Jessica will be working hard to have a smooth transition for the residents of Lorraine County. For those that don't know Jessica, she has been Tom's deputy at AMA for over 2 years. Many of our police, fire, and safety forces personnel, as well as our Township Association folks, know Jessica, and she is a familiar face at many of the meetings. And I'd like to mention the outstanding job by our EMA staff assisting the emergency services personnel at the Uncle Vic's Fire in their work with the local agencies via our mobile command unit. Thank you to the entire team over at EMA, Tom Kelly, Jessica Fetter, and Kevin Harless. That concludes my report. Commissioner Lundy?
Sure. Yeah, I'd just like to echo, we're really excited about Jessica coming on board and being the new EMA director, and she's gonna do a great job. Tom's been there, 35, 40 years, so, it's big shoes to fill, but I believe Jessica's gonna step right in and not miss a beat. She really knows what she's doing over there, and things are gonna go really well. So looking forward to that transition. First, I just wanted to point out that the Board of Elections early voting is open. So if you want to stop by the Board of Elections, I wasn't sure myself. I thought, well, geez, I don't know, with COVID and everything, maybe I have to call and schedule since it's pretty light because of primaries, municipal primaries and things like that. But nope, I was able to just walk right in and walk right back out the door, I think in all about 5 minutes. Got through the process and had 2 issues there in Avon Lake that I was voting on. But please check, because a lot of communities may not have any primary races, but you may still have issues that you need to vote on. But the Board of Elections open till 5 each day for early voting, so please take advantage of that. Also, I'm hoping that the community will come out and welcome a hometown hero that is going to be making an appearance here in Lorraine County. That hometown hero is Brigadier General Isabel Rivera Smith. And she is a graduate of Admiral King High School and has served in the U.S. Army for 30 years. I hope you paid attention to the title, Brigadier General. That's a title that's hard to attain in the service. She has 30 years of service in the Army. She also has 2 master's degrees as she was working through the ranks. And here's the part that will really blow you away. She has raised 7 daughters and 1 son in the process. And I could barely take care of managing a goldfish, I think. But 7 daughters and 1 son, and now is a brigadier general. So she will be coming in and will be at Sacred Heart on Saturday at 1 o'clock. That's Saturday at 1 o'clock at Sacred Heart. So they'll be announcing plans for the Ohio Hispanic Veterans Memorial Project. I know that we've put together a special accommodation for that event, so for those who wish to attend, and certainly, a great role model for all of our students out there. Also, would like to point out that the community protection team, we weren't able to meet this week. The health director had another commitment. However, the updates that we received, we are now at 100,000 people vaccinated in Lorraine County. That's a great number. The case count is up slightly over the past 2 weeks. That's moving in the wrong direction. A lot of folks are wondering if they'll be able to get the J&J, the one-shot deal. However, that's in short supply. We should be getting some word, hopefully later in the month, about that coming in. But a warning, hospitalizations are going up. There are some variants of the virus that are out there and are active and quite dangerous. So everyone is urged to please keep their guard up, like you and so many others. I think we're just exhausted about this whole thing. But the reality is that the virus is still active. So you're encouraged to get out there, get your vaccinations. The health department has posted more vaccination clinics. You're encouraged to visit LorraineCountyHealth.com/sign-up. That's LorraineCountyHealth.com/sign-up. And for the veterans, please contact the VA and schedule to get your shot at the VA clinic if you can. Another item I want to mention here this morning, and I was hoping that I wouldn't have to mention it, but I'm getting people calling me about it now, is that if you visit LorraineCounty.com, our website for the Visitors Bureau, that website is no longer in operation. I was hoping that we would be able to maintain and secure that site. The Lorraine Lighthouse organization had contacted us to indicate that they were referring people to go there so they could figure out how to book a room in the county, and that site has now expired. I guess I just want to make clear that I did reach out to the county administrator back on February 18th, had conversations. I was hoping we'd be able to secure that site. I thought it was important to keep that until we made a transition to whatever the new site would be. However, that wasn't done, so I kind of feel like it's marketing 101 or management 101, that you want to make the smoothest transition possible, but basically, I guess my warning and recommendations were ignored. And now I kind of feel like we're left with a black eye, and it's a little bit embarrassing because if you go to visit LorraineCounty.com, you'll now find a poker site in Indonesia. So I just wish that the site would have been secured as I had requested of the administrator. We have $1.1 million sitting in the Visit Lorraine County funds. So it was not a money issue, even if we were going to abandon the .com at some point and transition to .us. But now we have a situation where if people want to come to Lorraine County, look for beds in light of the economy reopening, that they'll now be directed to a poker site in Indonesia. So I hope we can find a way to remedy this as quickly as possible so that we don't continue to have this issue. Also, just want to point out that Carvana is having a jobs fair at Lorraine County Community College. We talked about Carvana earlier. April 13th and 14th at the community college. So if you go online, I think you can find that. I know I posted on my Facebook page too. But some good paying jobs there, benefits, and we're excited about them coming to town. A potential of 400 jobs to start, and hopefully another 400 jobs later. And that completes my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Moore.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate Tim Carrion, Director Tim Carrion, and his team over at the Job and Family Services. The county administrator touched on the money that's going out. People don't realize how important, how big this is. The city of New York has $1.3 billion that they received. We received $9.2 million. They received $1.3 billion, and New York City's really struggling. I mean, they haven't issued $1 in New York City. Lorraine County is ahead of the curve big time because of our team and the efforts from Director Carrion. So I just want to commend them. Tom kind of stole a lot of that thunder, giving an update, talking about how much has been going out. And the way I feel, and I'm sure the rest of the board feels, it's not enough and it's not getting out quick enough. But I'm telling you now, it's easy to apply. It was interesting that Administrator Williams said you don't have to be behind. That's the first I heard of that. So that's interesting. It sounds like to me they're very loose, and when I say loose, unlike most government programs, you have to be a certain percentage of poverty. I mean, family of four making 60 grand can qualify for 3 months of advance rent. Also, the Lorraine County Community Action Agency has a couple of $1 million too that they're helping people out. So you have two agencies, and we're working hand in hand with our computer systems, in which you can't apply for one, apply for the other. It's going to get caught, so don't even try. So the bottom line is we have agencies working together. We have a lot of money to help you out, and if you're a landlord, call them up and they'll help you help your tenant. At least get yourself current, or if you see a tenant that could be struggling on a month-to-month basis, maybe that next 3-month rent boost might help that family overcome maybe the shortfalls in revenue that they received last year because of loss of income. And that's all it could be. You might be used to getting 40 hours a week, and now you're cut down to 20. You qualify. You might have only gotten hit for 3-4 months, and you haven't been able to get caught up. You qualify. So the beauty of what's going on here is we are that far ahead of the curve with a lot of people nationwide in Lorraine County. I just wanted to commend our director, Tim Carrion, and his team for the work that they've been doing. That's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Our next item is E, the Clerk's report. Madam Clerk, do you have a report today?
I do not.
Okay, our next item is F, Board Correspondence. I move to waive the reading of the Board Correspondence due to an executive session we have scheduled.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
At this time, I move to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel issues, employment, and new hires. Can I get a second? Okay, motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
the bagel shop, yeah. Coffee is good.
My glasses keep fucking up.
Yeah, I know.
Having issues. Okay. We have returned from executive session, and our meeting is back in session. I move to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Meeting announcements. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is Wednesday, April 14th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. Is there any further business from the board?